You got to be able to make it look half decent, huh?
It's in focus now, so
Okay.
we're good. When you guys are ready.
What's Dak better at than when you first got with him? The most better.
Well, I just think, for me, coming here 4 years ago, just watching the evolution of his game and how he's worked at it. I mean, the guy's a tireless worker, and so much respect for the way he goes about his day-to-day approach and his routine. And you just, if there's one thing that he doesn't feel he's doing great, he's going to dive all into it and get better at it. And I have so much respect for him and the way he approaches the game. And you watch the way he's kind of grown in the offense and the ability to take one thing that we've done well and then add to it and continue to grow. And he's given us that ability. It's been fun to watch.
Mike talks a lot about how key the continuity has been with Dak Kellen, and even you've been here longer than almost the entire offensive staff. How have you seen that continuity translate to this game?
Well, I think anytime you're in a system for an amount of time, what it allows you to do is you become efficient in how you're doing things, and then you can build off of what you've done well. And when you have so many reps built into certain plays, you say, hey, we can put this variation on this play, and for the quarterback, it's not a totally new foreign thing that you're asking him to learn. He's got reps built at it, and you put a wrinkle here and a wrinkle there, and now all of a sudden what became a staple play has 4 or 5 different adjustments off it. It makes it difficult to defend. Well, I don't think you ever really have to manage Dak. Dak manages Dak because of his, like I said, his day-to-day preparation and how he goes about things. If physically he's going to be unable to do something at some time, he's going to quadruple down on the mental side of things. So don't ever worry about his preparation. The whole goal is to give him what he needs to get him to where he needs to be. I think, once again, you talk about work ethic, the amount of time he spends in the off season looking at, the slightest things, the smallest things in the throwing motion, the mechanical work he does. I think that his off-season plan for working on his mechanics has carried over from day one to where he is now. I think his mechanics have continued to improve year in and year out since he's been here.
What's the key to having the poise he had in overtime and end of the fourth quarter?
Well, I think it's the things that make special quarterbacks special. It's that it factor. The guys that, when there seems to be chaos around them, can keep neutral mindset, can stay focused, can really focus in on the task at hand and the execution of what needs to get done when everybody else seems to be in an emotional state, so to say. It doesn't surprise me at all the success that he's had in those situations.
Just a teeny bit of surprise on how good he's been right away coming off last year's injury.
No, I don't think, maybe because we see the things behind the scenes on a day-to-day basis, such a great, like I said, appreciation for him and the way he approaches things that, no, it really hasn't to me.
He's got such a unique mind, and I think it works in a new way. Sometimes what are some of the ways you've seen that in moments that stand out?
Well, when you talk about mental toughness, to me, they ought to have his picture in the dictionary right there. And you just look at the way, he's handled everything, every set of adversity he's had throughout the time that I've known him, even before then. And you watch the way he approaches life on a day-to-day basis and the way he approaches not only the game, but his teammates, but people. He just, like I said, I have such a great appreciation for him.
As you said, you weren't coaching him when you joined the staff, but from starting at tight end, watching him, has he improved anything more than his accuracy?
Well, I think he's improved in every area. I mean, you talk about protection adjustments, you talk about the run game adjustments, the hidden things that you don't see a lot of times. You talk about not only the mechanical side of things, but, well, I want to do this, but maybe my body structure isn't fit exactly the way that it needs to be to do this, so I'm going to go work on this. And you talk about a guy that's always looking for a competitive edge and always willing to think about, how do I get to where I want to go? Well, I've got to go attack this. And he's, his self-awareness is so high. He looks at the things and, hey, I need to do this better. Well, how am I going to get there? Well, let's set the plan. Let's go do it. That's what makes it so fun to work with him.
You just mentioned not being surprised by his progress. I'm just curious, when you watch his tape, what's that like? Are you just like, yeah, that's Dak, or does he ever impress you or surprise you with just some of the stuff he's doing in a game?
I think that the thing that's impressed me the most is his ability this season to look at the game. By opponent, people played us differently, and he's been patient when he needed to be patient, and then when people have taken chances, he's gone after them. And to me, when you're doing that at that position, it makes you very difficult to defend because different people are going to try and do different things. They say, hey, let's keep a lid on it, try and keep the ball underneath, and will he force one down the field? And then other people say, hey, let's take a chance, see if we can't get a sack or create the quarterback to make a poor decision. I think he's done an excellent job of that to date in this season.
No quarterback has thrown for 445 yards against the Belichick defense till this week. What does that say about what y'all are doing right in the Dak's game?
Well, I mean, New England's obviously a phenomenal football team, and it's a very tough game up there. Our approach, as it will be every week, I think the one good thing is we've had great ball distribution. Kellen's done a great job of getting us in the right stuff, and Dak, and not just Dak. I mean, you look at our protection. Our protection was solid. They tried to come after us. They couldn't land with the pressures. They tried to disguise the coverage. Guys are continuing to work. If you noticed a lot of the extended plays in that game because they tried to drop guys out. Receivers did not say, not only get great protection, but then the receivers did a great job of not dying on plays, continuing to work, find another window, get in the second window. That defense does such a great job of disrupting your timing and your passing game that if guys don't play through the play and pass a 2.3, as we say, you're going to have a hard time having success. And all of our guys did that. The line continued to block, that continued to extend plays, and the receivers continued to work downfield.
There are a lot of great quarterbacks, a lot of great leaders in this league, but how unique is Dak in that regard?
Well, he's elite. And, I don't have personal knowledge of some of those guys, so it's hard for me to say, but I know this, number 4 special.
What's your methodology or strategy with a guy like Will who gets dropped in here when you got a game plan for Tampa and bring him along at the same time?
Start small. Started very small. Took the base core offense of, hey, if he needed to play this week, what would we want him to master? So started small. Kind of say, you're going to sit in these meetings, you're going to hear a lot of stuff. Don't get caught up in that. We're going to stay small. Here's your tight package. Gather information as we go through the meetings, and then we'll grow your package as we go along throughout the season.
How big does it look in week 6 or 7 compared to when he got here?
Oh, it's obviously much bigger now. The thing is, though, what you don't have is you don't have the repetitions. And for any quarterback to get out and have an opportunity to do it live, not only one in practice, but then in either a preseason game or some kind of, game type setting, it's a different deal because, you can say one thing, well, he can draw it on the board and he can go walk through it and he can throw it on air. But now, when there's somebody screaming up the A gap and you got to slide off the midline, you got to redirect your eyes and find timing and throw an accurate ball in tight man coverage. That's hard to do now.
In your pre-games when you're with them, are you putting them through game situations?
We go through a lot of scenarios, a lot of that, especially with Will just getting here, is just getting him on the field, calling a play, having him verbalize back to me, okay, and I'm going to say, okay, well, here's the Z, here's his route, where's he in the progression? Talk me through, okay, boom, now let's throw it. And you're trying to find creative ways to steal reps when you're not going to get them in practice.
Mike said yesterday it looked like the light had started to come on for Will in the last couple of weeks. How specifically?
Well, I just think that anytime you walk into a scenario like Will did, you got a lot of information. You're moving to a new city, try to get adjusted. New way of going to practice, new way of everything being done. Every team's different in how they do things on a day-to-day basis. So that's number one. Then on top of it, you got a new system, protection names you've never heard of, run names you've never heard of, players you've never been in a huddle with. It's all new. So it's just the day-to-day of getting in, okay, I'm getting back into a routine here. I'm starting to, every guy Will's been in the league a couple of years, so he has an idea how he wants to do it, but getting accustomed and then learning our offense has been a big part of it.
So I know you're more focused on quarterbacks now, but what excites you most about Dalton's current?
Well, that's, once again, we talked about Dak's progression. You watched Dalton's progression since when he got here. It's been fun to watch, obviously. Was with him for the first couple of years, and then to watch what he's done. Once again, the guy that works extremely hard, very diligent in his preparation, and it translates to what he's been able to do on Sundays, and just happy for him.
What's Kellen
Last one
Moore's
here, guys.
thoughts and what's his structure like in terms
Kellen does an excellent job. Obviously, he's a brilliant guy. He's always staying a step ahead of the curve. Really, the great thing about Kellen is he wants input. He wants different ideas. He wants to look at different ways of doing things. It's a great working environment. Really enjoy working with him.
Thanks,
You guys got it. All right, guys, thank you.